Yes people, what is good? I am BA back once again with a new reaction to a new series. This is Rome and I have never seen it before as always. It fought off some really tough competition on my Patreon poll. It came first above everything. We do have a runner-up and a third place which are actually going to follow Rome, but I don't want to spoil anything just yet for my people that are YouTube only. What do I know about Rome? Well, I did do the subject way back in primary school. I know, a few of the leaders. I know a couple of the things about their battle maneuvers, but I'm really quite ignorant towards the in-depth history of the Roman Empire. It's something I do wish I educated myself on in my adult life. I do take the time to pick subjects from time to time and educate myself on them, but the Roman Empire was just not one of them. So yeah, my knowledge of it is base level, gladiators, centurions, Caesar, etc. But yeah, I don't have an in-depth knowledge of who stabbed who in the back and who was reigning when what happened, etc. Regardless, this is a co-production between BBC and HBO, so really how bad can it be? I've got full faith in HBO at this point, especially when they're handling historical stuff like this. I'm imagining how hilarious it would have been arguing creative choices between HBO and BBC as well. HBO would have been like, yeah, we really need some tits in this next scene. BBC would be like, are you sure? Could we not recite a small historical Roman poem in place of that? No, we need tits, BBC. Welcome to the fucking big boy team. Look, I'm not saying there's definitely going to be titties, but it's a historical drama and it's HBO. There will be titties. All joking aside, I'm really looking forward to getting into this. A, because I find history interesting and I will actually learn more about Rome, and B, because I hope it's going to be a great show. And if my Patreons told me it's great, so far their track record has been flawless, so I've got full faith it's going to be. So without further ado, this is episode 1 of season 1 of Rome, The Stolen Eagle. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. That's a crazy art style. It's like the graffiti on the walls are moving normally through the camera, but the actual humans walking through the streets have like some sort of shutter speed effect put on them. Artistically, this is so not what I was expecting from the intro. I'm not saying I don't like it, it's just instantly caught me off guard. I actually didn't look at any of the cast names there either. I should have paid attention to see if there was anyone I knew in it.
The Republic of Rome rules many nations, but cannot rule itself.
Well, just by that opening monologue, I'm assuming this takes place in the later era of the Roman Empire.
Caesar has waged a war of conquest in Gaul that has made him ever more rich and popular.
No way, Caesar is being played by the guy who played Mance Rayder, the king beyond the wall in Game of Thrones.
An aristocrat with soldiers, money, and the love of the people might make himself king.
That is definitely a powerful combination. Is that Tommy from Trainspotting? Obviously, Rome was famed for its battle strategy, so I don't give these guys just crazily jumping into the shield wall much of a chance. This is no time to call your sheepdog.
Shields on me!
Where are they just now? Is this a conflict taking place in Rome, or are they invading somewhere? Sorry, liberating somewhere.
Get back in formation, you drunken fool!
Really not the time to be calling out a guy for his drinking problem. Respect you being there for him as a friend and, telling him what he needs to hear. It's just on the battlefield, probably not the best of times.
He has committed a terrible sacrilege, and he will pay for it with his life!
On one hand, getting whipped looks incredibly painful. Obviously, it's tearing through the skin on your back. You're gonna bleed. It's gonna be excruciatingly sore. That being said, the way I would logicize it in my head is like, this ain't doing any deep organ damage. It's not going for my vitals, so I can deal with this for as long as they want to do this shit. Fuck them. Of course, it's a different story when you start getting whipped. Maybe my mindset would change pretty quickly.
Commander of the rebel stronghold of Alesia!
Just stripped down, disrespected instantly, stripped of all his prestige.
Caesar! Caesar!
At that point, it's kind of like 50-50-ish, innit? I guess 50% of the people that were put in front of Caesar to swear loyalty would have just been like, fuck you, and got instantly killed, and 50% would have just been like, you know what, let me see if I can think of a revenge strategy while still living, and just done what they needed to do to be appeased.
The chief of the Gauls has surrendered to Caesar. The war's over.
Wasn't much of a war, to be honest. I accidentally stepped on an ant the other day. The war between me and the ants is now over.
I have terrible news.
Forgive me. Forgive me.
What the fuck is going on? I do not know who this guy is in relevance to Caesar.
Your hair. Funny.
Damn, imagine our last words were throwing shade at his haircut. So was that just one of Caesar's friends telling him that his wife had died, or was that Caesar's sister or something?
See to the details.
I think it's great they've cast this guy as Caesar. I really liked him in Game of Thrones, and I've never seen him in anything else, to my knowledge. Maybe he's been in stuff and I just didn't realise.
My daughter Julia has died in childbirth.
Ah, it was his daughter. Shit. Was that his only kid? I would assume a Caesar would have many children. Not to say the death of one would be any less devastating, but hopefully he has others.
Child?
A girl, stillborn.
You can't even fathom it to think that for the majority of human history, that was the dangers associated with childbirth. Absolutely brutal.
From Gaul.
That was very cloak and daggerish. I don't know who that guy was, but he was whispering some shady shit. As a general rule of thumb, I don't trust anybody that has the writing from the outside of a coin on the side of their head.
Under the protection of Pompey Magnus and Julius Caesar, Senate sits tomorrow.
I've seen this actor in so much stuff, I do not know his name. I told you, it's HBO. Be actually quite nice to get fanned while fucking. It would be hard to talk someone into doing it, but if you could get that setup going, it'd be nice and cooling.
You want the horse?
I do. I've always found something perversely erotic about goaty little men.
Gotta take your compliments where you can get them in life.
That'd be a goose.
Full Frontal Vagina, episode 1 as well. Hello, HBO.
I've bought a horse.
Have you?
The best horse in Rome, by all accounts.
Did look like a good horse. Don't know if it was worth selling your body over, but you know.
And give it to him in person.
What a little shit. Just slapping his fucking servant.
Ride into Caesar's camp alone on a noble white stallion. Well, that's a gift he won't soon forget.
Why does she want to give Caesar this gift? It's episode 1 of a new series. I'm going to ask so many questions. I really do apologise. I'm going to try to intake as much as I possibly can.
Gaius Julius Caesar. Why does his chair remain empty? Why does he not come home?
Was Julius Caesar's first name Gaius? I never knew that. Or does Gaius mean something else? Is it a title?
For 8 long years, he has gorged himself like a wolf on the blood of Gaul.
To be fair, if you were able to speak against your Caesar in like what is essentially a parliamentary setting, it was quite a forward-thinking society because most rulers around this era would just behead you if you said one word negatively against them.
He wants to buy himself a crown. He wants to destroy the Republic and rule Rome as a bloody tyrant!
Clearly not a Caesar fan. And is this guy from a different house or something? Because he is literally the only one in the room wearing this black toga.
Very good, Cato. Full of vim and verve as usual.
He was definitely full of vim.
It is the people that rule, not you fine noblemen.
How silly they are to be bickering amongst themselves. Thank God we've put all that behind us in the modern world.
It is unwise to goad the beast. It is equally unwise to imagine the snarling animal a friend.
That guy made it sound so good, but he was basically saying be a backstabbing snake, pretend you're cool with Caesar, but secretly hate him. If I was Caesar, I would keep the guy shouting really negatively against me alive, and I would keep the guy shouting positively for me alive, but that one dude that was suggesting being a snake, he would die. He's the troublemaker in that room. Not what I'd call standard armour, but it would certainly distract the enemy. You could use it to deflect sword hits if you practiced.
Father, my presence is not appropriate.
There's a lewd woman on the stage.
HBO. HBO. Someone should have informed her she was in a HBO series. She would have been like, oh really? I apologise.
I've only to stamp my feet and legions will spring up all over Italy. I can squash Caesar like an insect.
Don't know who that guy is yet, but he seems quite confident if he genuinely believes he could have Rome rally behind him against Caesar.
You asked me to openly betray a friend. I cannot do it. Good night.
Maybe I was wrong about that middle snake guy being the worst in the room. Free ring, innit?
Is he not perfect? Proper little soldier. He's scared. Nonsense.
He does look scared. This is reminding me a lot of the final episode of House of the Dragon Season 1. I don't want to spoil anything for those who have not seen it, but if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
A horse. Not too expensive, I hope.
I'm sorry, sir. The horse was sold already.
No matter how much he paid for it, she trumped him with vagina.
Must he have everything?
I wish I knew this character's name. He seems like he's going to be the main adversary towards Caesar. That horse was the final fucking straw. Roman armour and weaponry is so legendary and dope, the red and golds and shit like that. They must have had some absolutely incredible blacksmiths at the time. Who the fuck are these guys? I thought the title of this episode was going to be some metaphorical shit about a war manoeuvre or something. No. There is two dudes who have literally just stolen a golden eagle. Imagine getting jacked off the Smurfs.
No, 6. Oh, how clever. It's almost like a proper house.
Hold the fucking phone. This is yet another Game of Thrones actor. Jesus Christ, the Game of Thrones HBO casting people just siphoned the Rome actors over into their show, didn't they? I forget that guy's name. He's like the Blackfish's nephew or something, and he was the one that got carried away at the Red Wedding, but not Red Weddinged.
How is that idiot cousin of yours?
He was in
Actually, I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a rush.
The man in the armour has no time for this armourless fool's talk.
Well, he carries on. One might think he came from no family at all.
He does have a Bulgarian streak, I don't mind it.
If you're trying to have a powerful army, you need killers like that, innit?
When the eagle was taken now, they're positively mutinous. The men think it's a sure sign of my doom.
It's certainly not a signal of your doom that your Golden Eagle blacksmith was jacked by a couple of Rangers fans. I knew this kid wasn't going to peacefully make it to Caesar's on this fucking horse. They set up his look of worry way too much. Put that in the top 5 creepiest fucking smiles I've ever seen in my life list.
Crucify them one by one until someone tells me where the eagle is, then steal it back.
Good.
To be honest, that's quite a good strategy.
There's a torture detachment with the 3rd, but you may choose your own men if you wish.
Yeah, that guy thought it was a good idea too. I think they will find the eagle if they do that. It's a bit brutal, but you know, so's stealing a golden eagle.
Sir.
And you can't slip a Scottish actor past me. That fucking 100% is Tommy from Trainspotting. It's nice to see he recovered from his AIDS death.
No! Please let me die! Let me die!
Damn, I always thought Jesus took it more like a champ.
The Blue Spaniards, they came to stay for one night and then rode to the Cadocci lands, please.
Fuck man, this guy's clearly been tortured so badly. I was gonna crack some more Jesus jokes, but after hearing him speak I feel fucking bad.
If you be the right god for the business here, I call on you to help me.
I find it hard to take that guy's monologue serious when there's a graffitied penis next to his head.
Legionary Titus Pullo, stand up!
Oh, he's a legionary. This guy will be a good fighter then. What the fuck was he in jail for, I wonder?
You'll be spared damnation in the arena.
I won't even stand next to this short-ass shit, leave alone serve under him. I'll stay here, thanks very much.
I instantly like this character. Very much basically the Russell Crowe character in Gladiator, except he's not undercover, but he's a former Centurion Legionnaire, and he's now getting put in the arena.
You're as brown as a bean.
It makes me look quite soldierly, you know?
It does.
Why is this guy always cast as just a slightly soft, annoying relative?
Longs to be alone with you. You think he says such things to his wife?
Affection. What's that?
Well, at least he was trying. He tried his best. He could have not sent a letter.
The eagle might be anywhere. Buried, melted down, sunk to the bottom of the sea. We are hunting a black dog in the night.
He makes a good point. Like, if these guys have got a decent enough head start, there is probably no chance they're going to see it again. But it is such a noticeable and large object. If they passed anybody, people will instantly remember them.
What's to stop me cutting you into little gobs and riding off?
Well, if your honor as a soldier of the 13th isn't enough, then I'll have to rely on my superior fighting skills.
I know he was half joking there, but still, it is kind of pushing it a little bit talking to your commanding officer like that.
They settled their political disputes by single combat to the death.
Excellent idea.
Isn't it?
I think that's a great way to solve disputes. They have done it in various places in the past, and it would just stop the mass casualties. The problem is, whichever side lost would probably not be satisfied with the result and turn it into an all-out war anyway.
To be honest, a little demoralised.
Caesar demoralised? Never.
His standard was stolen.
How did you let a foolish thing like that happen?
They're already setting up so many people that are clearly going to be little backstabbers in this show. Everyone's got a little opinion on Caesar just now, don't they?
You are lower class, but that is to say, the lower class in general have a very crude sense of loyalty.
What a dick.
Do me the favour of selecting whichever girl you think most likely to please and offer her to him in my name.
Who sent her that letter? Because I thought it was Caesar that was looking for a woman to replace the loss of his daughter in Pompeii. But that voiceover didn't sound like Caesar. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society, I call this story Centurions in the Forest. Okay, A, who the fuck is she praying to? And B, she seems like she's in a borderline trance. This has got to be some pagan stuff, is it? Oh, that's brutal. And I instantly hate this woman for enjoying the bull blood.
Great Mother says no harm shall come to your boy.
Good.
What in the fuck religion is this?
Uncle Julius intends to marry you to Pompey Magnus.
Oh, okay.
We shall have to get you divorced from Glabius, obviously, quick as poss.
That is so fucked up. She's in a loving marriage, but because she's the most suitable candidate, they're gonna just get her divorced and shipped off to Pompeii.
Caesar would not do that. The man's been in Gaul for 8 years. He's practically a wild beast.
They're all pushing this narrative of Caesar just now, that he's turned into some war-loving madman because of an 8-year campaign, but every time I've seen him so far, I don't get that vibe from him. I wonder if they're just perpetuating this myth to strip away his power in some little way.
A little more arsenic, I think, Aya. Try to look a little more cheerful, Octavia.
I find when I'm putting on my makeup, you can always do with another layer of arsenic.
And outflanked the flankers.
Bravo, Magnus. Masterly.
She doesn't give a fuck about your war manoeuvres.
Would like to offer her to you in marriage.
Now, will this win this guy's favour again? He's been thinking badly about Caesar for most of this episode. Surely this is going to sway him back into good favour.
You may take your betrothal privileges at any time you wish. Now, if you like.
Imagine your own mum just offering you up like a hoe. Alright, HBO, we fucking get it, okay? Now let's see his tits.
You don't like women?
Of course I do. I'm married to one.
Instantly setting up both their characters. The one on the left's your typical, like, jock soldier. One on the right's a more mature, married soldier.
Been a while since you've seen her, then.
7 years, 140 days.
That is a long time.
I like to kill my enemy, take their gold, and enjoy their women. And that's it.
He seems so genuinely happy about the taking of his enemy's women. You can't even be angry at him. You go take your enemy's women.
You're on first watch. Wake me when the moon's at the zenith.
Right you are, sir.
Just because he used the word zenith, I would prolong it by half an hour. He'd wake up and go, this moon isn't quite zenithed.
Sons of death!
Shit. I take it that was Soldier Boy's fault for falling asleep on his shift and not waking up the other guy. They dealt with that situation quickly. I was just about to say I can't believe that kid's now a slave, but yeah, he was a slave for maybe 10-15 minutes. I mean, they're framing it like he's a little psycho, but that's genuinely what we would all do if we'd just been enslaved by some prick.
Pompey is no deep philosopher. He will take a symbolic loss for a real weakness.
Damn, this kid is wise beyond his years, thinking ahead like that.
Caesar has taken the love of the common people from Pompey, and that was his most prized possession. A battle is inevitable.
This kid's just given me more information about the state of things than anybody else throughout this entire episode. Thank you, exposition slave kid. Oh shit, they're the guys with the eagle, no way! What a fucking shot. And how legendary is that little mission by them? They got horses, they got the kidnapped kid, and they got the gold eagle. If Caesar doesn't shower these guys in golden women, he has gravely mistaken the importance of these two guys. Also, were these Spanish guys in blue an actual gang, or is that just made up for the show?
Good morning, Uncle!
Octavian?
Caesar is gonna love these guys.
Pompey's men. I misjudged him. I thought it would take strategy to turn him against me, but he must have turned the moment Julia died.
So Caesar instantly knows that that guy's plotting against him. Rome versus Pompey. I didn't even know this was some beef I was going to be hyped about, but let's fucking go. Spoiler alert, it doesn't end well for Pompey.
All of you, this is my new wife, Cornelia.
Fuck, he married someone else. After bedding her as well. Damn. Pompey guy is firing all the shots right now.
Everyone knows it's a political repudiation on account. Pompey and Caesar are enemies now.
It's true, this girl shouldn't feel in any way bad. It was definitely not her fault. It's just a political issue.
I've been dishonoured and shamed before the whole city.
Nonsense!
Feel so bad for this girl. She was happily married, forcibly divorced, and then the guy she got divorced for fucked her then didn't marry her.
I want him dead.
And that you shall have.
I believe the bull blood lady. Okay, and that was episode 1 of season 1 of Rome, the Stolen Eagle, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, the Stolen Eagle, what did I think of that? First of all, I just want to say it's episode 1. I am going to watch this again, probably several times through the week, but just now, zero name has stuck in my head, except literally Caesar. That is how shit I've done. I was going into this episode hopeful I was going to catch names and get everything down, but no, Caesar. So it's going to be hard to describe everyone else. They were basically setting up a couple long-term stories and a couple short-term things. The short-term things were obviously the eagle itself and also that kid on a mission on the white horse to go and give it to Caesar. I really like how that was done, setting up that mother and son, both very interesting characters. The party is attacked down the road and the kid is brought into slavery only for these two soldiers who are in search of the golden eagle to come across them, kill all the guys, realise they're the ones with the golden eagle as well and return absolute heroes. It was a great singular episode story that has no long-term implications, but it set up a lot of characters and put them in a very interesting scenario. Long-term, obviously, we're seeing many people both in Rome and in Pompeii speaking out or plotting directly against Caesar, which led to a direct conflict by the end of the episode. Thinking about it in my head, you do have to blame the Pompeii guy. I mean, he basically took that horse thing as a last straw, when it was in no way intended as a disrespect. He just literally said, does Caesar get everything? It was never going to be a gift for him, but that was the final thing in his head, and he was already plotting from that point. So I do blame him, because in that moment he showed the way he was thinking, so he was going to take anything Caesar said back as a provocation, but yeah, he had the golden eagle stolen on top of that. Caesar sent the head back and gave a flat out threat, and because of that, he didn't marry the girl that Caesar had set him up with and instead married some other woman, and basically they are now at direct war. I had no idea Rome and Pompeii had any kind of conflict historically, so this is all so interesting for me, again, both from just a show perspective, but also a historic one. And who knows where it's going to go from here, but I'll tell you this, I'm so thankful that my Patreon suggested this, because some shows, they feel slow paced to me. And this show, it wasn't all action-packed, it had a couple little battle scenes and things like that, but for me it was more setting up the characters, and that in and of itself completely had my attention for the entirety of it. So I cannot wait till these characters get into high drama with one another, because that was only episode 1. I don't even really know them yet, and I'm already hooked in on these stories and can't wait to see where it goes from here. And as you would expect from a HBO and BBC co-promotion, it is of the highest quality, basically the standard for HBO now. I can't believe how many great shows they've had. They continue to surpass their expectations for me. I would just be rambling forever if I just started going on about other HBO shows I liked. But yeah, if you're a regular HBO show viewer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Their track record is immense. The other thing I'll say is, I know this isn't intentional and I don't know what came first, but because I have seen Game of Thrones first before this, the fact that there was a few Game of Thrones actors popping up here and there in it made scenes with characters who would otherwise just be complete strangers to me way more instantly gripping, because I was like, oh, it's that guy, it's cool to see this actor in something else. So they instantly had my attention due to my history with them, which added to me getting involved straight away. And here we go, we've got 2 seasons of this and I'm locked in and looking forward to it. And as always, if you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA. Peace.